Hello, Crystal.
Hello, Kay. Welcome
Crystal,
back.
what did you do this weekend? Let's just have a bit of
what did I do this last weekend? I actually went on Sunday and I bought a fish tank.
Oh, that was
I haven't had a.
Yes, I remember.
I used to be a hobbyist fish. I used to love, those goldfish with the big googly eyes and the big.
Yes.
Anyway, I used to do lots of the
Okay.
sort of bred them a little bit as well. And I probably haven't had a fish tank for, 10 or so years. But I probably had it for like 15 years before, and I don't know. I just got an urge and went to the fish tank shop and got me all inspired again. And so, I did that.
Good. I went to a rodeo.
Yes, that's right.
My first ever rodeo.
What was that like?
You know what? It was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was lots of fun.
I've been to one in Dallas, Fort Worth. I wonder if it'd be very similar.
I think it'd be similar, but I'm sure it's much better if you're in Dallas. Fort Worth.
Sure that Dallas was
a bit better than St Ives Showground in.
They had the bull riding and stuff.
They had the bull riding. We thought they might not have bull riding,
but
they did.
That's always fun to watch.
They even had
it?
little kids under 14 years old bull riding. I couldn't believe it. But I liked the bronc riding the best.
On the broncs, on the horses.
Yes.
The bucking broncos.
Yeah, and it was more the catching the horse afterwards when the person fell off.
Because these ones have never been ridden, right?
I don't think so, yeah. I think they tie something underneath.
It was a beautiful night as well, wasn't it? So it would have been
Mark
perfect.
could probably know a bit more about that. But anyway, right, no, I just thought we'd have a bit of
thanks for sharing that.
Before getting back to the next topic, which is
ask me next weekend what we're doing and I'll share.
Okay.
So today we're talking about welcome everybody, Kay and Crystal here. We've got small business sorted podcast going where we help with the chaos and the clarity. Just through lots of interesting discussions and through our many years of experience. Storytelling. Yeah, we got lots of stories, don't we? Yeah. So this story for this topic today is about the idea of I had a phone call and it started off that I was at a mate's place. And it started off that he actually got an invoice from a mate and he got it the same day that the work finished. Okay. And that absolutely blew his mind away because he can't get his invoices out on the same day at all, right? So he was so impressed and he obviously went to school with this guy and he was going, if he could do it, I could do it. So he said, look, I've been looking around and I gave you a call and he said, I really want to be able to get my invoices out fast. So I said to him, well, what kind of software or what are you using now? Well, how do you do it right now? So he has whiteboards in his office. So he had whiteboards for new jobs coming in, whiteboards for quotes, whiteboards for in progress, and no whiteboard for invoicing though, I don't think. And then he had from there, everything else was written down, obviously in diaries and paper, and he used Xero for invoicing and quoting. However, he had a team of, how many did he have? He had like 4 or 5 workers. And he was basically waking up at night, getting very stressed, felt like he was so impressed that someone could send him a mate over that, could send him an invoice. So that was the conversation. And so I think for a lot of people when they start out in business, you kind of just make it work and you do your own systems, don't you?
Yes, absolutely.
And then in today's world that we live in, I mean, you remember the old ledger books, don't you? Where we used to write in. Oh no, that's our age now.
I wasn't going to tell anybody.
But anyway, back in the day, we used to have ledger books and where every single sale, every column was a different name. So whether that was like, I don't know, groceries and office stuff and, I don't know, payroll and bank account. And so every transaction off your bank statement was written in the ledger book and then or off a receipt off the till and then that went in. And then you used to have to add all those up. And remember the old things we used to add up really fast?
I used to be able to add without looking.
Me too. I was so fast. And you used to have the till tape or the tape that used to come out and you used to just double check that. Very efficient, very good. But now today that we live in, we've got these wonderful job management programs. Yep. and accounting programs for a fraction of the cost. And they could just be absolute life-changing. So to go back to that story, so what we then chatted about was to get everything off the whiteboards and everything in his head to what he knew into a job management system. And we won't mention any names because there's many, many of them. We've got
I
our
think we can
favourites.
mention a few names.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big fan of Tradeify, and I think there's ServiceMate and Fergus, and there's Simpro and Aeroflow, and I think there's a new one on the market called Service Titan as well. Anyway, there's Acora. There's a whole lot of them out there, and they all kind of do the same thing, is that what your whiteboard and your diary and in your head does, and basically it's a job management system, so they manage your workflow by jobs and job numbers, not by customers, which is a CRM. So it actually manages it by the jobs. And then you have little things. Anyway, there's a whole variety of ways that you can manage it, which we'll talk a little bit later. And it was getting that information and putting that into the system for him.
Yeah.
And then to train him on how to use that, and so that he could learn to trust that. And then obviously your staff then log into that and put their hours in, what they did, and your staff then have a visual on their phone as to where they're going every day instead of you having to send a text. Imagine how much time that saved him. I don't even know how he did all that work with with the amount of time that he had.
No, but as we were saying before, it's great when you've got it set up. Setting it up is often... Well, it's the hardest part, I think, is setting that up. He had at least a whiteboard with processes and flows of information, which would have helped a lot. But it isn't easy to set. It's not hard to set up those systems. Usually it's good to have someone to help you to do it.
Yeah.
Just because of the time it takes. And something else you should be aware of, going back to our previous podcast about staff, is staff don't always like change.
No.
So you've got
business owners don't always like change.
Business owners don't like change. And as we also said before in the car on the way here, some people just can't.
Yeah.
As I said, I when I first started as a bookkeeper, I had a client who used paper for his quotes, invoicing, and he's still doing that 10 years later. He just could not make the transition to using technology.
Yeah, right.
But which is also fine if you know if that's what you feel comfortable. You've got to feel comfortable with whatever you're using.
And I think if you do decide to look, I think it comes a time in any business where you've got everything in your head or in a diary. I think there comes a time where the business, you can only do so much. And then either you burn out or the business does badly because you're not capturing everything anymore, right? Yeah. And you would have seen that quite a lot in bookkeeping, I would imagine. Yeah, no, so you probably didn't get the information in a timely manner, and because it's the last thing you want to do 10 o'clock at night, or you're working too many long hours, which is often the case. So it's a case of trying to get all of that out of your head into a system while you're working, while you're busy, and learning a new habit, isn't it?
Yes. And keeping it up. I think we've both seen a few businesses who've started to use whatever technology it is and then just not kept it up, or decided they didn't like that one. Maybe they'd like another one. I know there's a friend of ours who seemed to like technology and changing
to a new
over to a different system. He kept finding something
better.
Yeah, better than what he had, but he should have just stuck with what he had.
Do you know what? I think that was a distraction.
I don't know.
I don't know. He loved implementing new systems.
Exactly. And
the staff got really a bit confused over it because it was Monday and there was something else.
And talking about me again, I started to use a job management system, I guess, for bookkeeping. And
which one was that?
Carbon.
Carbon.
Now, Carbon is great. It's the Rolls-Royce of that type of software. It's
So it's like a job management where all your clients go in and all the everything you do for those clients is sort of like a task list, and then you get tick them off. And
yeah, it's excellent. But setting it up was not easy.
Yeah.
And although I used it, I didn't use it to its full potential. You could set it up so that it would send reminders out to clients who hadn't submitted their bank statements. But I wasn't confident that an email might not go out.
All right.
That shouldn't go out.
You weren't trusting the system.
No. So that side of it I didn't use. So and I'm sure that happens to other people with systems. I think I was more comfortable with the simpler systems. I'm trying to think. Xero Practice Manager. Used that for years. I had all my jobs set up. Knew when they were due.
So did Carbon replace that?
I never replaced it. I always
was
kept
it supposed to replace
I was duplicate. Yes, I was duplicate. Yeah. That's something else people will do.
Is run two systems at once.
Duplicate. Yes, I can't really think of other other.
Well, you could run a spreadsheet with certain sales or you could run a spreadsheet with jobs to see what your margin is on the jobs instead of using the job management system properly to see what those margins are.
Something else. I know probably a bit too much bookkeeping stuff here. You'll have to tell me to stop. But people who don't use their accounts payable properly, i.e. they use Xero to put
What's accounts payable again?
Accounts payable is what you owe to suppliers.
Oh, yeah. So money you owe to people.
Yeah, if you don't put the bills in when they come in,
your supply invoices
of what you owe to people and when you need to pay it isn't accurate. So I've got a client who's actually using a spreadsheet to do that when if it was all in Xero properly, they wouldn't have to. And again, it's a trust
thing. So that's interesting. So if we use you for example, you've got a Carbon, which is your client job management system, right? Where all your jobs and the workflow goes into that, everything. Right? Yeah. So when do you go do the quote? When do you send it out? What work are you going to do for them on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis? Yep. And then you've got Xero, which is a completely different system, which we actually do need on top of whatever.
Oh, we need Xero. This is Xero Practice Manager, was
Xero Practice Manager, which you didn't need.
Job management system, for Xero.
So the other system that people don't always use to its full is the Xero accounting software.
Correct.
Which you're supposed to put in all your so if you do that properly, it comes back to that whole thing of having accurate figures for you to make better decisions, right?
Yeah.
So if you can't make better decisions, if you don't have accurate figures, you can't make better decisions.
No.
Or understand where you're going, right? And then that's, there's various topics like cash flow and all that.
So if you didn't listen to our other podcasts.
Podcast one.
Go back and listen to those.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's really interesting. So if you do go with these softwares, which can be a life changer and can change so much, take away so much of your time, or give you time back, I should say, not take away your time, give you so much time back when you run them properly. And the one thing that I have seen over and over again and why people give up on these things is that they don't use them properly.
Correct.
So if you only use these job management systems or even Xero half-hearted, and you only use a portion of it, you're not going to get the results you want. No. Then you might as well go back to your old system in a way. You either do it properly or don't do it.
Yes.
And I know for some that they may use that job management system just to send a quote or invoice, or they may use it just for scheduling. I know some people use it just for scheduling, the workflow. But I think if you used it properly, I can't tell you what a game changer that is. Yep. And what are some of those advantages, Kay, for using a system properly?
Getting paid on time.
Yep.
Just
knowing where all your work is in one place.
Yes. Knowing what jobs you've got coming up.
Yes.
I know I've got he did go on to ServiceMate, I think, eventually. But there's a lot of small business owners who are still doing scheduling just on their phone in the calendar.
On like the Google
so
Calendar
it's
or whatever.
difficult when somebody wants to know if you've got availability.
Yes.
That's hard to look up. Whereas if you've got something like ServiceMate or Tradify, you can see that a lot easier.
A lot easier.
You can also know where your staff are and what they're doing. Does Tradify do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all do that.
Yeah.
So they actually, if they're using their phone or a iPad to look at those jobs, it actually just tracks their where they are.
Yeah.
So you can actually see. So if you're wanting to book, if say you got an emergency job coming in, you can say, "Oh, Ben's over here. Let's get him to stop on the way home," or "Frank's over there. Let's get him to go past there on his way home," or on his way to the first job. It's that's so handy for that reason.
It would be easy. Something I'm thinking of is Deputy. I know, and that's a
that's a
timekeeping system, and that has the ability to clock people in and out.
Oh yeah,
when they arrive at the office, they can clock themselves in.
Yeah, great for warehousing or restaurants.
Somebody can't say yes, I'm at work when they're actually still at home in bed. They actually have to clock in. They physically have to be.
How are you going to do it
at the workplace?
Yeah.
I would assume it helps you to keep better track of their hours.
Yes.
I.e., they won't. If it's a manual check-in, check-out, maybe they add in an extra 15 minutes when they were at work, when they weren't. So that reduces that error.
And you get good, accurate time sheeting as well.
Yes.
I believe there's another one called Connected Team.
Okay.
Connected Team or something. That's supposed to be very good as well.
I think ServiceMate you can actually clock in and clock out.
Sure. ServiceMate you actually add, you can do start and stop. They all do that as well. But that Deputy goes to the next level. You can actually put shift breaks in, and you can actually, it actually will do the odd shifts, longer shifts and overtime and complicated.
And you can schedule in your staff, which is obviously
so good, isn't it?
What you can do is amazing. But as we said, I think the key word this time is it's got to be accurate, up to date, and you've got to use it.
You've got to use it.
So many people have the systems and don't use them.
If we go back to this person, right? So we set him up on this on the thing, and one of the things that I did was that with a job management system, like what they have on their whiteboard. So say, new jobs that are coming in, jobs that are being quoted, jobs that have been waiting for the quote to be accepted.
Yep.
You can actually create those whiteboards in the system, and we call those statuses.
Okay.
So you could actually create each one of those as a new status, and a lot of them have where you could create your own statuses. So you could actually have it to match your business and what you call it, and you actually have that in there. And so then all you need to do is go look at that status and go, oh my God, we got 20 new jobs that have just come in. We need to schedule those out. And then you got we've got 100 quotes. No one's followed them up. Let's follow them up now. So you can actually tell where every job is, and no job ever gets lost, because I think what ends up happening, what keeps people awake at night, or you just never get around to doing because it's just too hard to work out where they are, is that follow-up and knowing where everything is in one thing. And the other thing about having these online job management systems or apps is that you actually can then start to employ admin staff to help you as well.
Yes.
And so that you can then, all that admin thing to create a quote and send it, like you just give them the information, they send it, right? They could set up all the new jobs in the system. They could set up the new inquiries and book them in. They could follow up on those outstanding quotes. They can follow up on your outstanding monies, right?
Yeah.
They could reschedule work if somebody cancels. All of that easy stuff to manage, you don't actually need to do anymore. You could actually give that to somebody else to do.
Yes.
And how many hours would that save you, right?
Yes. Yeah, lots. Something else, back to bookkeeping.
Yes.
And automation. Something else that bookkeepers like people to use is
let me
systems. Guess. Guess.
Okay. Is it Dex?
Yes, Dex.
All right,
Which
Dex.
stands for?
Oh, I don't even
I
know.
don't remember now.
I know it used to be Receipt Bank.
It used to be called Receipt Bank.
I think,
Data
is there a hub
extract.
doc?
There is a hub doc.
There's a hub doc,
Yes.
but I'm not a big fan of hub doc, but it works just as well.
Yeah.
But Dex is something that, yes. So
Yeah.
why do bookkeepers like this?
Because we don't have to worry. Actually, we do. We don't have to ask clients for paper receipts.
Ah.
I mean, at once upon a time, and I actually never did this, shoeboxes full of receipts.
Did you get many of those?
Actually, I never did. I think I probably, when I started bookkeeping, Dex or Receipt Bank was just coming in, and I managed to avoid any clients who had shoeboxes full of receipts.
Oh God!
I don't know how I managed to do it.
How did you do that?
I don't know how I did, but again, it's the same thing. It will read a receipt automatically. The information goes straight into your accounting software. There's no manual entry at all. It means that the information's more accurate, more timely. But again, it relies on the employee submitting the receipt. You can do it using their phone.
You could get admin to do it on your behalf.
True.
So they could just do the receipt and then the admin can forward it onto Xero and forward it into the job management system. So then you're capturing all your – that's the other thing that's so good about Dex, isn't it, is that you capture your expenses into your job management system. So if you've got your accurate hours – and you've got your accurate materials in there, and you could use this like for other service work, right? If you've got your subcontractors' hours in there and your, whatever Adobe costs or whatever it is that you're doing, or your social media costs and that, if you've got all of that in there accurately, it'll actually tell you how much money you're making on that per job. So you know how we talked about in a previous episode, we talked about profits and cash flow and knowing your figures, right? And accuracy on that in Xero. Imagine if you knew it by customer and by job that how much money you're making in that. Imagine what visibility you have on there and what changes you could make to your business by going, whoa, I only made 23% gross profit on that. Like, that should have been 45. What happened? And then you could go and investigate it and actually then start to work on what happened and then not make those mistakes again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. How incredibly valuable is that to any business owner, wanting to know what every sale you do is how much money did I make on that, or where did I go wrong, or wow, that was a good one, let's do that again.
Yes.
Because that gives you profit, right? And that's what we're here for, aren't we?
That's what we all want.
Is
money.
Profit. Yeah, money.
Money.
So not only do we have Xero that needs to be accurate, but I often compare. So I would have the job management system that would have all your month's invoicing out of that and all my expenses for the jobs out of that, right? Then I would then double check that with Xero at the end of the month to make sure, just for my own space, my head space, that I then go, well, if I did 100,000 in, let's call it Tradeify, I would want to see 100,000 in Xero. And then in the materials, sorry, I'm going to cough. Oh, I got a tickle. Talking too much, too many hours. But then what I would want to see is managing is that matches. So then I know we haven't left anything out of one or the other. Because all we're after is accurate stuff, aren't we, at the end of the day?
Yes. I'd say all of these systems are great. You don't want to have too many.
No.
Limit it to what's absolutely necessary. As we said before, some people like tinkering with different systems, but
don't do too many.
No.
Do them well. The other tip I can give you, pick one. They all got their limitations. None of them are perfect, but there's a lot of little workarounds that you can do. Find someone who's got experience in setting up. Let them help you and do the cheat sheets for you so that a lot of them have great videos and stuff if you like doing it yourself.
They all
do. But if you're
do.
not that kind of person,
they all do.
Get someone to help you set it up. Get them to get everything out of the head and the whiteboards or the book or the diary into the system. Get used to using that. Run that for maybe a week, both, so that you feel comfortable you got it. And then I would always pick a date to stop using your old system, and then you're 100% using your new system.
Yes.
Because what do you reckon happens, Kay?
Something will go wrong.
Or they never change.
Yeah.
They'll do part of that. And then when you're really stressed out or shit's going down, lots of things are happening, then you guess what you do?
You just don't
go back to your old system.
Don't do it, yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that happen so many times where people just go back to their old system because that's the muscle, right? That's what you're using.
Yeah.
So I feel like do it well. Have a cutoff date, and I would do it quicker than later because that forces you to learn how to use the system.
Yes.
It's going to be frustrating for at least
it will be
probably 6 weeks.
It will be.
You then just remember why you're doing it. The why is everything. You want to save time. You don't want to be working late at night.
No.
You want everybody to be able to have visibility so that you can then get admin help to help you with that. And then I had a client a little while ago. We went through the whole thing and we were just about to hire an admin person, and he just said, I can't do it. Which
you have to respect some people's feelings. Some people can't. It's not there. But then again, you can usually find somebody who can.
Yeah. I think give it a go.
That's true. It's worth a go.
And I think it's worth a go. The rewards far outweigh the amount of money you could save. You then understand your costs better. You then understand how much profit you're making on everything. Because Xero doesn't give that to you. It's too complicated to work out by job.
You could do it by job, but it would just be too hard.
It's just too hard.
No,
it's not geared up. You can't schedule in there.
System, a bookkeeping system.
Yeah, it's a bookkeeping system. Keep it as that.
Yeah.
Just it's not a job management system. No. And I think people get confused on that. It's not a job management system. It's a great accounting thing. Yeah. And then I reckon you can make better decisions on your business. You can run your staff better, which helps you keep your staff. And you look like you're more organized because you are more organized. Just the benefits outweigh it by so much if you get this right.
Somewhere where you can also really save a lot of time is talking about timesheets.
Timesheets. And for wages and payroll.
I know. I had a client who it was all manual, and they had to, everybody submitted a manual timesheet each week.
Yeah.
And then it had to be broken down by what job they'd worked on, so they knew what customer to invoice.
And how long?
Yes. I mean, that was a huge process. But I can't remember what system they went to, but I think actually he developed his own app for it.
Oh, really?
Because he had to be able to break down.
So many on the market now, though.
Yeah. He did do his own app so that that process could be automated.
Yeah.
Because it was just taking so much time. I think he asked me to do it at one point, and I gave it a go. And then I went,
no,
I can't remember. I think I tried to give it to one of my staff members. Even she was having difficulty with it. So I think that's when he created his own app. But you can save so much time with timesheets.
Absolutely.
Xero's got automated timesheets. They're pretty simple.
Yes.
But Deputy's more sophisticated.
We actually put the timesheets into, we use Salesforce because that's what the franchise uses for the trade business. But that we use Salesforce to the timesheets go in there per job.
Yes.
So we run that sheet.
I remember that, Christopher, when I helped you with your
Oh, God. And then we used to work out, so every hour was billable, and then you used to run the report for us to see whether or not those hours were how many hours were billed and how many weren't.
Yes.
So if say they only billed 6 hours for that 8-hour day, I'd want to know where those 2 hours went.
I'd let you know.
Yeah, they might have been at the tip or the shed or whatever, but we just wanted to know why those 2 hours were billable.
And sometimes it was wrong.
Sometimes it was wrong. It was. That's right.
They'd put the information in incorrectly. So the client wouldn't have got billed the right amount of money.
The old human error.
Well, happens. But that's the point of checking and double checking.
That is the point of checking. And then that used to then go into the zero. And then they used to put their times in zero me, which then you used to see. And I mean, it's basically they're putting in their 40 hours or whatever it was a week. But then you would say, oh, hang on a second, he's put in 42. But on his timesheets in Salesforce was only, whatever, 2 hours less. And I think having a system where you can double check what's accurate is really handy because then you can see where it's going wrong. Correct. And then it's always good to have, you could always have an outside person working in your business as well to do that.
Second pair of eyes.
Second pair of eyes, right?
Because we used to work well with the payroll.
Yeah.
I could identify the anomalies.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know the reason why. So then...
Because the last thing you want to do is pay someone too little or pay someone too much, right?
Exactly.
Where they didn't actually do the work. Or you didn't bill the customer for that hours that went out, right? So I think, if you're in, all businesses are in the business of billable hours of some sort, right? You've either got staff doing it or you've got, retail is also product, but you want to make money on your product as well, right? So, or your service, right, that you're offering as well. That double entry is huge. And how many payroll hours, if you had to work that out manually, how many hours would you save by having the system?
Heaps. I mean, obviously it depends how many staff you've got, but hundreds of hours in a year.
I don't know how people do it outside.
Well,
or they probably
honest,
don't.
It's not so much though. It's very boring. Task. Repetitive task. I don't know any people who really like boring, repetitive tasks.
No, but there are people out there who love it.
Well, that's fine. Let them do it.
But I mean, they're the people you hire, right?
Yes,
it's not if you really
people,
don't like that, then you hire people who love it and they will do a great job for you, right?
Yes. It's better to let the software do it and then have the person check the software.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. The other thing is, what's the danger of having everything in your head?
Well, if you run under a bus or have a heart attack, that's it. Nobody can continue running your business.
Yeah. It's also really hard to go away on holidays.
Yes.
Or switch off.
Yes.
The amount of people that I know that stay up till quite late every night, night after night after night, or they don't, and then nothing gets done. But everything's in their head.
Yeah.
And, you often hear of people waking up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock. Damn, I forgot to put that in.
Yes.
We've all done that, right? I know
Absolutely.
I've done that. And but actually having them in a system like that assigner where you could actually do that brain dump and just drop all those, and you could actually do it from in your car by using like Siri, add this task to assigner, or Alexa, add this task. It can be done that way too.
Something I haven't used so far, but Xero now using Jax.
Oh, I've been using Jax a bit.
Can actually do that type of thing for you. Create an invoice for, create an invoice for this customer for this amount of money. Yes.
I haven't tried that yet.
No. I'm trying various things in Xero, especially now.
I think Jax was only released, when was it? December?
Not everybody's got it, I don't think yet.
Okay. So Jax is the AI component of Xero, and it's very, very, it's powerful. Looking like some of this stuff that I've seen, it's looking amazing.
But you have to be a bit careful. Again, it's the checking.
It's a bit like a ChatGPT in Xero, isn't it?
Yes.
You can ask it, like, what's my cash flow looking like, right? And it'll actually tell you.
That is true, yes.
You could actually ask, what could I do to make it's a bit like having your accountant giving you some financial advice. So you could ask it some really basic questions and it could give you some really basic answers, couldn't it?
Yeah, again, you have to be careful.
You do have to be careful.
And that now Xero can automatically code things for you that come into the
Well, I've been trialing that,
bank.
and
I have too.
90% is accurate, but
exactly.
10% is actually not accurate. So,
but then you've got the opportunity to go and look at the transactions that have been.
yes, without actually having to do them.
It tells you whether they've been manually or automatically coded. So you can look at them to see if. Again, it's a case of, is it better to look at things afterwards and check it?
Yeah.
Or to actually have to manually do it yourself? And it depends what you want.
What do you reckon how's this going to change businesses?
It's going to make enormous changes.
If you don't have your software, if you're not already using a job management program and Xero, say,
you'll get left behind.
You're going to get left behind, aren't you?
You're going to get left behind. Yeah.
And do you think that's going to give businesses who are doing this, will that give them an advantage, do you think?
Yes. People who are doing it, yes, absolutely an advantage.
And what's that advantage?
Well, I suppose twofold: financial advantage, because they'll obviously be making more money because they're spending less time and they'll have more of a handle on their numbers. But also peace of mind, less burnout, feeling more in control. I think in control is going to be our sentence
maybe
or
that's
word.
The word.
Yeah, they're the two
the
words
takeout of the day.
The takeout for today.
For this episode,
in control.
In control.
Yeah, so
I think for me the benefits would be too is that by having, say, that AI agent like Jax in your Xero, you could actually say, how can I make more profit? What do I need to reduce in my expenses? It'll say, well, on average, you're spending double on, I don't know, they're taking your staff out for lunch. Maybe cut that down by half. Or maybe your 2 years ago, your phone bills were half. Why is, maybe you could go check that, or your subscriptions of. So again, getting those codings 100% right is going to be key.
Yes.
And then you're going to get, and I think people who have good optics on their business and good insights into their business and you can then ask better questions with that accuracy. Yeah. And you have a good job management system. This AI is coming into those at 100 miles an hour. They're already using AI to help you write your quote wording. Yeah. It's already helping to put lots of different things, like getting your inquiries straight in automatically. How much time and knowledge, this is going to give you such an advantage on your competitors who may not be doing anything.
Absolutely. Yep.
Even me, I'll probably be replaced at some point,
well,
which is fine, but I can then ask better questions too.
Well, as a bookkeeper, I will be replaced. I've already been replaced, which is why I'm helping people do their own bookkeeping. But it allows me to be more of a consultant.
Yeah.
Or any other bookkeeper to be a consultant.
And I think keeping up to date with the latest trends and software is becoming more and more important for business owners. You don't have to try everything.
No.
You don't have to, but you just got to get the key ones that work in your industry and ask the right questions and have the right information in front of you. Your business can only but thrive, right?
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yes.
I think that's a good note to finish on.
Yes,
what do you reckon?
Your business can only thrive.
Yeah, what a great topic. I've really enjoyed this one.
And what were the keywords? I forgot. In control, was it?
In control. Not communication.
Not communication.
But it's getting the right communication into the system and being in control of your data, I think, and of your future.
Yes.
And knowing everything. Well done, Kay.
Thank you, Crystal.
I'll see you on the next one.
Yep. See you next time.
Okay.